Yeah, so I'm out at the project, and I figured I could just give a quick update from the project, because all of these things, like anything in life that you want to accomplish, just take time and persistence and consistency. And I've been at this since April, so at this point, it's like we towards the end of the marathon, but that's really when you gotta kind of lock in. Um, and I'm just trying to be thoughtful about the way I spend capital, because capital is really one of the core components of making sure this goes well. So I'm gonna just talk through the projects of last week and just kind of show you some things. So this is the backyard. It looks bad, but I think we're actually getting to a good place, and I'll kind of show you why. I got bricks delivered, and that's mortar right there. That's all delivered. I separated out the materials, so you got like concrete and brick on this side, and then wood on this side. Um, when I go around front, you'll see it. I'm actually just purchased a new dumpster to sit outside. I'm gonna do wood, and then I'll get the concrete once that's done. Um, and right now, I'm just kind of thinking through the siding. So I'll have somebody come out here and give me a quote for redoing the siding on the back of here. I think once the siding gets put on, this will just look really good. So last week, it was coordinating, going to go buy mortar myself, going to go buy bricks myself, and I actually got sales tax taken off at the register because I'm buying it under this like enterprise tax zone certificate or whatever, which basically makes me exempt from paying tax when I go buy raw materials that are going to be at the house. I got the mason going, so you can actually start to see where he's going in between each of those joints and removing that mortar, and then he's taking out the actual bricks that go in there. So right now he's kind of, you can actually see through the crib right there, which is crazy, right? You can see all the way in the crib. Hold on, I'm gonna reach the camera through. It's crazy. Yeah, that's wild. But we shoring up the structure. It looks like he's like lining himself up, right? So I guess this is the way he kind of is doing his job. And then he has this thing that he kind of moves back and forth. Dude is solid. So you kind of see all of that, which is wild. And then we can go inside the house. Yeah, we can go inside the house. Now this is, still got a good amount that needs to be kind of figured out here, but yeah, this is pretty much all gutted. So I mean, let me just kind of show you in here. I didn't take the plywood off the window. It's just easier to not have to put that back on. But essentially right now, I was going through with a carpenter. I got one quote. It was crazy. It was like 17K, which is just too much for a carpentry budget. So I got another one, and I'm kind of slow playing the first dude, but he's giving me still like bill of materials and shit like that. So I appreciate that, but you got to do what you got to do. So if I get a lower cost back, hopefully like 10K to get carpentry done, then everything will start to get framed up. We'll remove out this staircase over here. That'll be removed out. All of these walls here will actually be able to be removed out because we're going to run a beam all the way across here. These floors will get leveled out, right? Downstairs we'll go down and reinforce all that structure. The thing that kind of makes it tough is if you look up at those are 2x6s, and I need for the joist to actually be 2x10s. So what we're thinking about doing is, one option is you just remove everything and start from the beginning. The other option is to maintain that structure that's up there, and then you would actually kind of cut into the new ones to put the beam up there, and you would actually add space for the 2x10 that would actually kind of sister against the new beam that's getting put in there, right? So you would sister these, you would add a 2x10 to this 2x6 that's right here. It'll run just parallel with it. And then here, it'll be this really thick beam. It'll be like a 2x12 beam. They call it an LVL. And you'll cut, and then you'll push the LVL where you cut into these 2x6s, and then next to the 2x6 you'll run a 2x10, right? So it'll be connected to the beam, and it'll also be connected to this joist right over here, and then it'll rest down on the wall that he's building, right? Because he still has to build an exterior wall. But that beam that goes up there actually needs a lot of support as well. So what's going to happen is we're going to actually underneath in the basement create what's called a footer. And a footer is just this concrete slab. And the beam that'll go up here will rest on a post. And a post is just a really thick piece of wood that'll come up from the basement, right? So it'll be resting on the foundation here. The post will come up here, and we'll put one side of the beam on there, right? And it'll be able to connect in. And then this whole place will be open, and then we can kind of frame however we want to frame around it. And we'll do a similar kind of structure upstairs, although it'll be less complicated. But that's what I'm getting priced out for this week. If I can get framing going this week, then that'll be good money. But to start with framing, we'll have to dig more in the basement. I did it once, and we'll be able to kind of jack up the basement. That's what you actually have to do. You'll have to put a jack underneath it and kind of raise it up, and then put the new piece of wood in, right? And then you know, you can start to build, but you got to start from the bottom. So I'm just waiting on a quote on that. I mean, right now it's nice to have everything kind of put in place, and I just got to move with strategy. You know, I got to move with strategy. So when I come here, it's like, you know, you got to be willing to come in and be in this environment, right? Like, I really kind of view this as, it's a consistency, it's an effort, it's your willingness to kind of continue on with this. This is not an easy project to come and look at, especially in an ugly state like this. But you see this over here? This is when we're going to be good money. This is, I got the electricity kind of put in over here. So if you can see, I got electrical boxes. That's when I'm feeling, you know, good when the electrical comes on. Hopefully that'll be Monday. They got to come out and inspect it and all that stuff, run the wires. But yeah, you know, at this point, once framing starts, we knock all this stuff out, we fill up this dumpster, then we should be in a good place, right? That'll be a new dumpster for all of the wood. That house across the street, actually, they did a whole kind of demo job on that, took the top off and rebuilt it back up. But this is me right here. So it'll be nice once we put the accents on it. Black accents, black rims. But yeah, it's coming along.